All right, shalom, Most High in Christ. Bless, happy Sabbath to everybody tuning in. All praises to the Most High in Christ. We are back again live on another Sabbath day, which is not to be taken lightly. All right, a lot of people are dying. All right, you're seeing it in the news, you're dealing with families, everything is happening that can happen. What this should show a lot of y'all right now is that you are not in control of nothing but what you believe. You're in control of nothing but what you believe. All right, so all praises to the Most High in Christ. Real quick topic today, not long for a lot of folks, is trying to get things together. There's a lot of things that we're doing. Addiction, the playground of doom. Now, I'm going to dial back for some of y'all. I'm going to try to be good today. Addiction. You know, the root word is addict. So a lot of people is addicted to a lot of things. Put in the comment boards. Name some of the things that people are addicted to or have an addiction. Let me see in the comment boards. I'm going to read some of y'all comments. Addiction. Put in the comments. All right. What are some drugs? Okay. Sex. I said name one thing. Sex, drug, money. Okay. Dang. Cigarettes. Music. Wow, that's a good one. Video games. Gosh. Work. Perfect. Christianity. Okay, I'll get that one. Cigarettes, money, attention. Okay, addiction, food addictions. Yep, people. Yes, sirs. Food, drugs, stealing. Gotta believe it. Lust. Okay, like what kind of lust? Lust is just describing that a person that's in that addiction, what they got. Drama, perfect. Sports. A lot of people addicted to sports. Idolatry, yes, people love that. Women. Men. Yeah. You could, a lot of people are addicted to people because I'm going to tell you how you know that's true. Because you will inherently let a person dictate your mood. That just happens as a part of being a creature. People can dictate if you happy today or sad or whatever the case may be. It shouldn't be the case, but it does happen to our people a lot. All right, attention, alcohol, drama, cars, lies. Boy, y'all know some things, huh? Fame, voting, guns. Who the kind of people y'all hanging around? Weed, social media, phones, porn. We know who said that. I don't even have to say his name, but everybody knows who said that one. All right. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, okay? Crack, yes, sir. Addicted to likes, politics, social media, not doing the commandments of God. That's addiction to it. Being adverse, okay, I get you. Money, pornography, porn, procrastination. Now, a lot of people saying it now. Church, evil, gossip, false doctrine, confusion. All right. Obama, Republicans, Democrats, politics, revealing clothing. Well, it's coming up. Drama. I've got all your comments. I'm reading them. The scripts. Yes, sir. Addicted to the truth. The world. You read that. Addict yourself to the ministry. Christianity, yep. The word. Lottery. I know people wish they hit that lottery. $1 billion. All right. All praises to the Most High. So the problem with everything that we're reading, folks. We're trying to make sense of your life, right? Everybody's trying to make sense of life in general. People trying to come up. Some people addicted to power, like you said, fame and everything else. But the problem that we have in our society as a whole is when you allow any of those addictions to dictate your ability to follow God's words. That's where the problem at. Don't you think we get all the calls? The calls I get, you might not want to be on the other end of those calls, because it's really, it lets me know, and this is why, like, at some point, as you building your ministry and y'all building, you got to understand this walk can tear someone to pieces, man. Meaning life. And the only solution is to fall back onto the Bible and try to make sense of your situation. Well, you'll never be able to do that if you're unlearned, and you'll never be able to do it if you're just reading this book as a fairy tale or a novel. You can only survive in the chaotic world of life, or whatever you want to call it, by the power of the Most High. The Most High has your goings, the way that you operate, everything in your life is the Most High has ordered those steps. So if you know that and you believe that, you understand that anything that comes before you, you have to now attack it in a whole different light. You have to attack it in a different way. Let's open up with a famous one, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Then I'm going to throw some curveballs. Last night, we got a lot of emails. A lot of people started to understand something within themselves, that you following after the promotion of the trees, the other nations. You look at what they say promotion is as success, and you're not looking at the highest level of success, which is you following after Christ. Make sure you understanding the Most High so that you can achieve the true level of promotion, which is godly rulership. All right. We keep a lot of things out of the script. Sometimes we go behind, off grid, so that we're in the privacy of the family and discuss topics and stuff like that, which, it's important that we do that, because a lot of you folks that watch what we have been doing for the last 15, 16 years, you watch it, but you haven't been immersed in it or can grasp it, all right, until you're really sitting down and being a part of a movement. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, start verse 1.
The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. Love righteousness.
Do what?
Love righteousness.
That's a key right there. Love righteousness. Put in the comments, what's righteousness? Come on.
Ye that be judges of the earth.
Ye that be judges of the earth. So now you have to ask yourself a question. Are you a judge of the earth? Come on.
Think of the Lord.
Do what?
Think of the Lord.
So whenever we're getting into our situation, this is addictions. This is for you folks who suffering with all type of things. It's some addictions that wasn't named on here, because some folks is addicting to cutting themselves, bodily harm, all kind of things. The way that you can fight is to think upon the Lord. Like, if whatever I'm doing, if what I be doing is if the Lord was standing right here. Think about that one component. That's it. Will I do what I'm doing if the Lord's standing here? That's for men and women. Come on.
Love righteousness.
Come on.
Ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart.
Come on.
And in simplicity.
With a good mind and simplicity. It's not necessary for you. It's not needful yo, oh man, can you please show us the stones? Can you please go before Genesis and root all this out? How you going to get that when you're barely grasping the simplicity of Christ? Mm-hmm. Come on.
And in simplicity of heart seek him.
Come on.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not.
See that? He will be found in him that tempt him not. What does that show us? That means in all of our doings, all of our goings, we have to think, oh, am I doing something that will tempt the Lord to strike out at me or for me to receive judgment? Am I doing something like that? It's very easy to comprehend, very hard to do, because Paul already told you evil is always present with you. Mm-hmm. Good is set against evil. Light is against darkness, 100%. You can't, you know what? Let's converge both of them together, light and darkness. What are you talking about? You're going to still have light, sir. Are you simple? Let's not be crazy. So you can't. There's no medium. You either got to be in a righteous mind or you're going to be in a wicked mind. The end. Now notice, we're not saying, let's please come from off the over righteousness. If you're going to point to somebody and say you're wicked, you just became the devil. You just became an accuser of a brother. You have to have a mind to understand your deeds are wicked. You're doing wicked deeds. But you're doing them behind what? An addiction. You are addicted to something. For men, it might be the high level addictions is money, porn. That's another whole thing. We was talking about it last night. You can trick your mind. That's just not men. There's more women that watches porn than men. Who want to challenge me on it? We'll catch you. We'll catch you slipping. I can catch you slipping on a whole nother level, though. I'll give you some real hard statistics. I'll give you this. How many men is in porn versus women in porn? Bye. Go sit your little self down somewhere. It's so many women that's actually performing it, like doing it and making money. They got all kind of things going. But the point is, why is that there is because people have addictions. And some of the addictions is for self-preservation and comfort. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. So we have to realize there's a playground of doom. You're playing in the big pond right now. Mm-hmm. All right? You become desensitized to reality and righteousness. In this place. That's all that happens. You're desensitized. But that partly falls in place because you don't see the sentences of the Lord the same way a spiritual person see them. Like we watching the sentence play out right now. All these people dying, you think they're just dying because of COVID? We told y'all 3 months ago, hey, sirs, listen, there's more strands out here. Everybody, they're just talking. Go backwards. 30 videos. Right. We said, listen, the Most High is killing people. There's something happening on the earth. The Most High is starting to kill a lot of people, and diseases and stuff is plaguing. This is before the virus. Well, how do we know? Are we just sitting here going, well, we guess. How do we know? We're getting reports. We're hearing. These things is starting to happen. As soon as it comes to your ears, if you're a spiritual person, your antennas go up. Oh, what just happened? Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds like a plague. That sounds like something's happening. Right. 3 reports, 4 reports, 10 reports, 30 reports. Uh-oh. Let's start giving the warnings. Now the warnings went out. Everybody was playing silly and stupid. We shut the school down. Yep. Before all of this, though. Way before it. But it was because being obedient to the Most High. But you don't see nothing. Israel don't see until after the judgment. So this place is going up in smokes. When everybody going to realize it? Afterwards. What's all that smoke going up over there? We told you. The Lord sent forth judgment. So they don't like us to speak. They don't like us to talk. And many of people is adverse to us because they do not want to come out of their addiction. People are addicted to America, addicted to the ways of the world, addicted to the trees. For those who was on last night. Read on.
The wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 2. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him.
Come on.
For forward thoughts.
For forward thoughts. Come on.
Separate from God.
Separate from God. Sinful thoughts. A thought of foolishness is sin. So everybody can at one point understand why we keep saying if the thought of foolishness is sin, and anybody can have a sinful thought. I mean, I probably was driving down the highway today thinking something like, look, there's an armored truck. Who gonna stop me? You got all these bros in it. We was just talking about it. Bros scattered across the whole globe. You don't think we can say, let's set up a criminal enterprise and just become takers, man? All it's ours anyway, brothers. Start lying to everybody. It's all ours, brothers.
Just take it.
It's just but impressionable minds. That's why I love the brothers that we roll with, because they can think. They're understanding. All praises to the Most High. A lot of these brothers, we watching it. They are in different states saying the same thing. Wait a minute. Are we echoing? All praises to the Most High. But you can trick your mind because of an addiction. And this is where some of you, especially you single sisters and you little young ones, make sure you have your young ones here, because your young ones, you are growing up in a digital age, in a different mind state where you think that this is old-fashioned. You think what we're speaking is something that old folks would say. Well, you might have, the generation before us, you might have them to say, okay, that's old folks, okay. You can never do that to our generation because we invented the thing that you're doing.
Yep.
And we see the pitfalls of reality, where it's leading, where it's going to hit you at. So you pay attention, but to the point where you know yourself and what is your battle. Like, I know my battle, but you will probably never know it. My personalized battle is rage and anger, but you can never tell that because I done suppressed that green man all the way down to the point where you can't see him, because if he is let out, things happen. It's not good. So I just keep him suppressed, and my suppression lends out patience, because I'm put him down, let him stay there, give more patience, give more. So you see patience to the level of a fault some people have seen until you cross the patient level, and then I have the ability to say I'm done. But you know yourself. No, you're not your own selves. You got to understand that. So everybody is battling something, battling addictions and different things, but you have to battle it with the Spirit of Christ. Read on.
Verse 3. For froward thoughts separate from God.
Come on.
And his power.
And his power. Read.
When it is tried.
When it is tried. Come on.
Reproveth the unwise.
It will reprove. It'll correct when nobody else thinks to correct. That power will strike you. You can play like you are holy. You can play like you can read scriptures. You can play like, Captain Shalom. Shalom. I'm Captain Shalom. I'm Mother All Praises. Big Brother Almighty. Yeah, Sister Head Rap. You can play everything you want to play until that day comes when the real boys the real people got to step up. And that's when you know what you're in. Read.
Verse 4. For into a malicious soul.
Come on.
Wisdom.
Come on.
Shall not enter.
Wisdom is Christ. So you want Christ in you. Remember the single sisters class. The single sisters class, I'm going to keep referring to it because it's just shine a thought on it. The way that class, we might end up letting that be able to be viewed at some point, but it's so private because we want it to be comfortable. But the way that we were doing things is the way that you married brothers should be going over the scriptures with your wives. All right? You gotta stand on something. You gotta be on a solid foundation. Come on.
For into a malicious soul,
Come on.
wisdom should not enter,
Uh-huh.
nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin.
Well, holy in body and spirit. So think about that. Is the addiction level to whatever you're in, is that hindering you from achieving to be holy in body and spirit, in mind and in spirit? Is that hindering you? Because it can. You can be a person that's constantly overthinking things. That's a terrible person there. Oh my gosh. That's a horrible person right there. If you constantly overthinking, you can never get it. That's a toilet bowl. You just constantly thinking. That's why scripture says sometimes a man's mind wants to tell him more than 7 watchmen on a high tower, and that's a lot. Put 7 bras up right now up here. I bet you we can give you a crisp 2 days lecture. Easy. Read on.
Verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline
Come on.
will flee deceit
Come on.
and remove from thoughts that are without understanding,
Come on.
and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in.
When once you enter into your zone of whatever your addiction is that's contrary to the scripts, now everything that you would know of the Bible or any principle you might have in you gonna get pushed out the way. So you have to stay in the mind and stay in the scriptures, and also you have to stay amongst godly people, like people who are striving in the same light. Okay? But you can never do that when you're all over the place and everything. Give me Proverbs 25 and verse 28. Proverbs 25 and verse 28.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 25 and verse 28. He that have no rule over his own spirit
Come on.
is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
How you going to have a city without walls, without borders? We really show you have your spirit is chaotic. You can't control your spirit, so that lends you to do anything your mind tell you to do. That's crazy. Literally. So as a person that's calling, you're saying that you believe in God. I'm not talking about somebody who, listen, let's not fool ourselves. It might be 1% of all Israel that really in the truth. When we say truth, we're talking about somebody who actually believes, not somebody who's just reading it. You have to be able to really grasp the reality of what you are doing as a person. That doesn't mean you're supposed to think like that person or that person think like you or whatever the case may be, because everybody's individual. Let's once again come back to reality. Everybody's individual, but that means in this walk, man, so we call it, give me 1 Corinthians 9. Let's go right there. 1 Corinthians 9. We got to do these type of topics. Everybody like the fun, let's get some fun topics. Please show us, the flaming chariots and, show us the way that the garments is laid over in the kingdom.
Right, the white garments.
Yeah. Show us all that. Meanwhile, don't show me Christ. Don't show me that I'm messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't show me that I got to correct some things. Mm-hmm. Don't show me that I'm bad. Sit your little self down somewhere. Get yourself together. Get yourself right in the mind first. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 9
mm-hmm.
I love this chapter. Start at verse 1.
Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 1. Am I not an apostle?
Come on.
Am I not free?
Come on.
Have I not seen Jesus Christ our Lord? Are not ye my work in the Lord?
Come on.
If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you.
Come on.
For the seal of mine apostleship are ye in the Lord. Mine answer to them that do examine me is this: have we not power to eat and to drink?
Come on.
Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles?
Come on.
And as the brethren of the Lord, and Caiaphas? Or I only, and Barabbas, have not we power to forbear working? We goeth a warfare, any time at his own charges, who planteth a vineyard, and eateth not of the fruit thereof, or who feedeth a flock, and eateth not of the milk of the flock.
Who goeth a warfare any time at his own charges. You gotta, we showing in it, especially like you don't really understand Paul's apostleship or his ministry or his evangelistic work until you're actually doing what he's doing, which is going about talking to people who don't know they're the Israelites, who believe that they're Gentiles. And then seeing that your work, people are repenting. People are coming back, realizing how they got to follow Christ and keep the commandments. You see that. That brings about so much different nuances. That's why you see why Paul be like, I'd rather for a brother not to marry right now. I don't rather for you to, if you can do this without having no distractions, I'm gonna give you that advice. Gosh, so important. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. Doth God take care for oxen?
You know, this, I read this for you brothers that always battling apologetics. You always battle them. And they say we don't have to worry about the laws or nothing. But yet, Paul using the analogy of the law to show that, man, you can't, an ox, he's eating while he's working. He's a partaker of the whole entire ministry. But they'll pull this to say, shouldn't we get paid? That's what they'll do. Don't realize what the payment is right here. The payment is not the people's money. That's not the ultimate payment. The reward is what you're seeking after, the kingdom. Everybody always put this in a carnality mind. That's where the problem is at. This is why I jumped down to verse 17.
Verse 17. For if I do this thing willingly.
What thing? If I do the works of the Most High and keep the commandments exactly how Christ delivered them, if I do what he says to do according to pushing the truth in the ministry, if I do this thing willingly, read.
I have a reward.
I have a reward. It ain't nothing you can give us. It ain't nobody can give you anything in regards to you getting the kingdom, man. You got to get that reward on your own. You can't buy your way through money or whatever into the kingdom. It's impossible. Read on.
But if against my will a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me.
Against my will. So what will make someone will want to not get the kingdom? What will make that? It's only ideologies. It's only a person's addiction. It's only what you are used to doing or what you're comfortable with that allows you to say, you know what, push aside the commandments, I do what I want. Now you're not following willingly to do this. Come on.
Verse 18. What is my reward then? Verily that, when I preach the gospel,
When I preach the gospel, read.
I may make the gospel of Christ without charge,
Come on.
that I abuse not my power in the gospel.
Come on.
For though I be free
But for though I be free, come on.
from all men,
Come on.
yet have I made myself servant unto all.
My goodness. Do you understand that? Though we be free, what he essentially is showing you is, I'm giving you everything I have. Though I be free, I've made myself servants to all. How could you steal from that man? How could you take his crown? It's impossible. This man's literally telling you, though I be free, nobody owes anybody nothing. That person don't owe you anything. We owe Christ.
Sold out.
You gotta be sold out for this, man. Some people are not sold out. When you are sold out, ain't nothing you can do to deter that person. But we have to be sold out for the truth on a whole nother level. And the world, you got to figure out what level that is at, because we can't say it. My sold out, his sold out, everybody's sold out could be different. All right.
1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 19. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more.
Come on.
And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews.
I don't think people understand it. Come on.
To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law.
Come on.
To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God.
You can't be without the law to God. This is impossible. Right. So what is he showing us is that there's an understanding that everybody has, man. The Jew under the law, he understands one particular way. The people who are without the law, not being without the law to God, they understand a particular way. Come on.
But under the law to Christ.
But under the law to Christ, come on.
That I might gain them that are without the law.
Come on.
To the weak. I became as weak.
Come on.
That I may gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. Become all things.
Yeah, I mean, what could you say to him? This man is sold out, man. This is a level, this is an achievement level that very few people you see in this book have obtained. To be sold out like this, you know Satan coming for you. 100%. All right. Now, you're looking at it for righteousness. Remember, you have to have that willing spirit. That's why, go to Proverbs 31. Show you two parallels. 31:13.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax.
This will be a virtuous woman. She seeketh wool and flax. Come on.
And worketh willingly.
And work it willingly. Come on.
With her hands.
With her hands. So as you start to look at the attributes of a person that is doing things to really have this different spirit on it, that woman right there will be considered virtuous. She's doing things willingly. Not begrudgingly, not against I'm just only reason why I'm doing this is because you're taking care of the bills.
Right.
Yeah. How you going to do that? A lot of ladies do that. A lot of women is in that position right now. So the only reason why. When you got to say that's not willingly.
Yep. That's right.
Now let's hit the bras. Judges 5. Remember this, Judges 5:8.
The book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 8.
You know what? You want to go to 1?
You want to start at verse 1?
You can.
Okay. Judges chapter 5 verse 1. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abadam, on that day, saying, Praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel, when the people willingly offered themselves.
Willingly. The people willingly offered themselves. Come on.
Hear, O ye kings. Give ear, O ye princes.
Come on.
I, even I, will sing unto the Lord. I will sing praises to the Lord God of Israel.
You know what's funny about this time? Deborah was set up as a judge because no man was stepping up. This is default mode.
Mm-hmm.
Put the woman up there. But understand something. She still was after the mind of her husband. Mm-hmm. Read on.
Verse 4. When thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom.
You don't even realize this song right here. We all singing the song, but you don't understand it. There's a different song being sung. Come on.
The earth trembled.
The what?
The earth trembled.
How she knew that? The earth trembled. Come on.
And the heavens dropped.
Come on.
The clouds also dropped water.
Ugh. Come on.
The mountains melted from before the Lord, even that Sinai, from before the Lord God of Israel.
God of Israel. So you notice how it's always putting Seir and Edom always? Mm-hmm. You should be asking yourself a question. What is happening what's going on with this, with the Edomites and the Israelites and all this other stuff? It's always black and white. Mm-hmm. Come on.
In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Joel, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked through byways.
Walk through byways. What does this remind y'all of? Something we just read, y'all. Read it again for them. See if anybody in the comments.
Judges chapter 5 verse 6. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Joel, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked through byways.
What analogy are y'all seeing with this? Does this city have walls? Does this city have walls? Travelers just can walk through the byways? Read on.
Verse 7. The inhabitants of the villages cease. They cease in Israel.
They cease in Israel. Come on.
Until that I, Deborah, arose.
Come on.
That I arose a mother in Israel.
A mother in Israel. That's what she called herself. You might be like, oh, she judged. She arose a mother in Israel. This is a righteous spirit. You think she doing this willingly? But watch this. Come on.
Verse 8. They chose new gods. Then was war in the gates.
Come on.
Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel?
People in chaos mode. How you going to choose new gods? You're in chaos mode. Watch this, though. Come on.
Verse 9. My heart is toward the governors of Israel
Come on.
that offered themselves willingly.
Their mind is toward the governors of Israel that offered themselves willingly. So for you brothers, man, you have to realize your spirit has to be, it's all on us. You might have your own mind and say, okay, I'm doing this, but every single person on this earth is looking at you to fall. You don't understand that? You can't fall. You can't even show yourself as falling, man. Brothers with their wives, you got to do the same thing. Men that are single, the princes, you have to be the same way. But if you show yourself in a different light, guess what? Everybody's expecting. You think we crazy, man? You know how many people wishing for us to fall right now?
If you inconsistent, see, one thing about this truth, y'all, you gotta ask yourself a question. Why are you doing this? Why do you why do you do these things? What's powering you to do it? Because your willingness to even want to do this, that's the biggest example that you can show to our nation.
Yeah. But you have people saying, I'm waiting for y'all to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. We had a brother say that. Remember the brother say, we watching you from afar, just seeing if you're going to fall. People think like that.
Read it again.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 9. My heart is toward the governors of Israel that offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord.
Bless ye the Lord. That's why I go to 1 Peter 5, verse 1 and 2. So we keep going over. It's good to go over the scriptures a lot. Like sometimes we're going to have to just start hitting replay buttons because it's good to revisit topics and to go over it because your mind, you battling so much. Some people are just in addictions to so many different things. Some people got multiple addictions, plural. But even Deborah, a righteous mother of Israel, said her heart was toward the governors of Israel that offered themselves willingly. All right. 1 Peter 5 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Christ.
Come on.
And also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
Come on.
Feed the flock of God.
Feed the flock of God, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanics, whose fathers are of Negroid and of Indian descent, the children scattered across the four corners of the globe, the most people that suffer from all type of plagues and addictions and crazy mind states outside of the will of the Most High. Peter, the chief apostle, said, feed the flock of God. Read.
Which is among you.
Come on.
Taking the oversight thereof.
Taking the oversight thereof. That's why when things happen or whatever we see as watchmen, we try to bring it out. With the oversight thereof, with the care of mind of the body. Come on.
Not by constraint.
Not by constraints. We're not up here to say, you know, man, we don't want to be up here.
Right, right.
Not by constraints. Not somebody forcing us to do this. Come on.
But willingly.
But willingly. It's got to be of a willing spirit. But willingly. Come on.
Not for filthy lucre.
Not because of money. Not because of money. Everybody, Raphael, if he had, Deacon Raphael, if he had won to hit the lotto, everybody be in here today.
You better believe it.
Soon the
the
news would have got out. Yo, Deacon Raphael hit the lotto. What? I'm going to the school today. COVID. I don't care about no damn COVID. I can buy me a whole new upper tarsal. $1 billion. That's how Jake's think. Jake's think like that. Let me see if he gonna be a niggard.
Nah.
Nigga with his monies.
Nah, I'll be breaking everybody off.
People come up to the table, line up. You don't even have to, I be like, hey, y'all, we about to send up the prayers. People be like, oh, prayers about to go up. I bet you be like, oh, he cutting checks. Oh, I'm in line. I'm in line. I'm first up. Oh, pardon me. Everybody be all friendly.
I know, right?
Pardon me.
It don't be packed, too.
Packed all lines out everywhere. Everybody from out of town coming in and John.
Yo,
he hit it. I'm gonna dry that out.
Man. I'm
gonna put my last gas in there because I know he got money.
I know he gonna break us off.
Only the families, it'd be crazy because like only the members is getting some money. Everybody starts signing up. Had like all the members and stuff. Everybody be ready.
Yo, man, you ain't see my membership online?
So you ain't see me, man? I've been putting my membership in.
I've been putting my membership in.
Oh, boy. Only the nation, though. I mean, that's what. Read it again.
1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 2. Feed the flock of God.
Come on.
Which is among you.
Come on.
Taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly.
Not by constraint, but willingly. Come on.
Not for filthy lucre.
Come on.
But of a ready mind.
How do you have a ready mind? How do you have a ready mind? We got a person that's.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Call him the college man right now.
Shalom. So in order to have a ready mind, that means if your mind is already on the Most High, or basically your mind is ready to push the movement.
Yeah, what did we read earlier? What we opened up with?
Oh, Wisdom of Solomon.
There you go. So what about that?
Oh, willingly, I mean. Love righteousness.
It's a lot of people. It's people willingly to go into strip clubs. People willing to do anything. Yep. Like somebody could be willing to do anything. Yep. People in the truth say, "Hey, man, we gotta go ahead on and just get this money, man." Oh, I'm willing. I'm.
Go ahead. You got your. Yeah, it's on. Something that even that I see in it, with Peter, what Peter is showing us is how, I mean, just like I seen somebody put a comment that you can be addicted to the truth, which is nothing absolutely wrong with that, which even in this, that's what Peter's showing that addiction, because Peter is following right after Christ. Just like he said, feed the flock, showing you that the most important thing is to take care of the people of the Most High and become a servant, to humble yourself. That's one of the highest levels that you can get on. And I remember we read over this I'm talking about a long time ago, and it's showing you that Peter is getting that from when you read in John chapter 13, the words of Christ. Because when you read in John chapter 13 and you read verse 14, the words of Christ says, "If I then, your Lord and your master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet." So that's going into the same thing as feeding the flock, showing you that the highest level and understanding that we can ever get of the scriptures is to follow after Christ. Because even in the times of temptation, what Christ showed us is no matter how rough and difficult everything is getting, we can never go wrong or never fail if we apply the scriptures. Because just like the elder said, the scripture that we opened up with in Wisdom of Solomon, of course, chapter 1, love righteousness. Love righteousness. And we know, of course, that precept to it, everybody should have put it in by then, or then was Deuteronomy 6. But love righteousness. And loving righteousness is willfully keeping the commandments of God, because even some of the basic scriptures that we read, we know that love of God is keeping the commandments. Once we keep those commandments and know that it's not grievous, we should be able to escape a lot of things. But the problems is the addictions, the addictions of this world, the addictions of just like some of these, some people put on the comments, sex, drugs, money, all kinds of things. And that's the thing. That's why the scriptures tells us to be ye not of this world, because it's easy to get addicted to the things that go on in this world versus walking after the ways of Christ.
I see somebody put on there the Great Commission. I mean, we laugh at it, but it goes back to upbringings and everything else. He probably, a lot of us came from like small churches and, family organizations and stuff like that. So you get a little foundation of whatever you have in you, but then you start to operate in whatever spirit that the Lord has on you. If you're not, then you're operating in the spirit of Satan. There is no medium. So when you read it again for him.
Verse 2. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 2. Feed the flock of God which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind.
But of a ready mind. So your thoughts, the way that you are loving righteousness, that thought process right there can allow you to excel. If you just addict yourself to, wait a minute, this is the cause, this is the truth, this is what we must do, this is how we must operate as a person, you start to now have a ready mind. Start getting your tools up. Like some of you brothers, you come in, you're like, man, this is the truth. What you start doing, you start getting all your precepts together. You start getting all your tools to be able to have that ready mind to go out and tell people the truth. Same thing with sisters. You start going, you see sisters go through the whole transformation. You come in, we've seen sisters come in, she might have been wearing the tightest of jeans, on everything. But then as the scriptures start going out, they're like, oh, wait a minute. This is not the proper way. I see other sisters, have dresses and what's those things at the bottom? I'm telling you, those examples from having a ready mind goes far beyond you just thinking of scriptures. You are like living it, and you become a living, walking example, really a walking billboard for the truth. All right? And you can help ease the mind of a lot of people because, their minds are addicted to certain things. The lady who wearing the tight pants, she might be addicted to getting attention from guys. Only ladies know that. That's why we go so hard on the ladies to say, hey, fix this stuff. Just like y'all can tear down, you can fix things. There's ladies you can take a woman, she can put a woman in a congregation, she can tear a whole congregation down. Get all the mightiest brother in this joint, the mightiest single brother in here. That brother could be on every trip, everything. Take him out. Read on.
Verse 3. Neither is being lords over God's heritage.
Wow, come on.
But being examples to the flock.
Being examples to the flock. Come on.
And when the chief shepherd shall appear.
The chief shepherd is Christ. When he shall appear, come on.
Ye shall receive a crown of glory.
That's what the reward we're after. We're not after man accolades. We're not after somebody saying you are part of this group or that group or whatever. Right. We want when the chief shepherd appears. Come on.
Ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away.
You know what's crazy about this too, y'all? What y'all got to really understand? This is the milk. This is something basic and but yet it's the hardest parts of what you have to go through, and it's the most lackadaisical part for the most part of all Israel. These classes right here, Israel will fall asleep 100%. They're done. But in all actuality, the reason why is because sometimes when you think you have something, that's why the scriptures tell you, if you think you standing, you better take heed lest you fall. Lest you fall, man. What that means is you supposed to consistently comb the scripts. You know, and then for a lot of you newbies, man, that really believe you can Google stuff and find out little words and think you know the Bible and all kind of other stuff, you have definitely head down the wrong. Your pathway is just going to be shot. Because you have to really do self-examinations in this. You can't hide. Read on.
Verse 5, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you, be subject one to another.
What does that mean? Submit yourselves unto the elder. That only showing you that you are taking the oversight of what that responsibility is and having an understanding towards it. But a lot of people don't do that. They don't do it, and they take it as a joke. Therefore, your walk is trash. Because you're not really paying attention to how your spirit is. You're going to be always paying attention to how somebody else's spirit is. And it's our jobs to relay that message to say, hey, fix yourself up. But the person that job is to say, fix yourself up, that's the most hated job. That's the aim, you're getting aimed at right there. All right?
Yeah, because they be like, who does he think he is? Telling me to get myself together.
Exodus 35. We can rebuke you on on a whole nother level, but that's not the goal. It's just to make you to understand and see that you have a willing spirit to do this, despite everything else on your addictions. Everybody has addictions. Every single person is addicted to something. You just got to find out, dang, am I addicted to something that's contrary to the scripts? You got to fix it. Exodus 35, verse 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 20. And all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses.
Come on.
And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up.
That's what it means. Everyone whose heart stirred him up. Come on.
And everyone whom his spirit made willing.
Made willing. Come on.
And they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. And for all his service. And for the holy garments.
What this show you is the works. Doing what pleases the Most High. But doing it in a willing spirit. Not for any other purposes. That's what will allow you to excel. You want to understand, to have an understanding of this book is probably, I'm going to say probably, because maybe 85% of the people that get so-called call themselves getting in the truth may get in it to say, let me see if I can have an understanding of this from what we've seen. And the other portions of the people is in it for whatever their addiction they're battling. So they get into this book with the premise already of, I'm trying to fix my addiction. That's gonna cause some things in you. Because you coming into it like that, you're gonna have to build faith. You're gonna have to build the Lord gotta build you. The people that's coming in this thing like, oh, I'm just trying to seek knowledge. Then, okay, you seeking knowledge. Where's your faith? So you have this great disparity where everybody's reading this Bible and trying to figure things out, and they're in the midst of something. And they're reading this book, and they're trying to go, let me get comfort. Let me pacify my addiction. This book is to heal, not to pacify. I say it again. What our heritage does, what you're reading in this book from the words of God himself, it heals. It does not pacify. So if you're looking at it, let me pacify myself a little bit in it, you failed. All right. That's why You can't be willingly ignorant. You cannot be willingly ignorant. Give me Nehemiah chapter 11. I'm going to point to another example. So all the addictions everybody putting up. Somebody, I'm addicted to cigarettes. Some people, so you looking at somebody, oh, I'm addicted to cigarettes. Some people were addicted to crack, cocaine, heroin. Y'all see it on the streets. You just see a grown man or a grown woman standing before you just slumped over like inanimate. Ain't gonna fall. Their power button is just boop, turned off. They just on straight pause. You blasting off scriptures, that person just standing there like a zombie, inanimate. Verse 1.
Nehemiah chapter 11 and verse 1. And the rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem. The rest of the people also cast lots.
Come on.
To bring one of 10 to dwell in Jerusalem, the holy city, and 9 parts to dwell in other cities.
Read it slow. They might not even they're not going to pick up on this right away.
Okay. Nehemiah chapter 11 verse 1. And the rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem.
Dwelt at Jerusalem. Come on.
The rest of the people also cast lots.
Cast lots. Why? Come on.
To bring one of 10 to dwell in Jerusalem.
Come on.
The holy city.
Come on.
And 9 parts to dwell in other cities.
So, so understand this. I'm not going to even figure this out. Figure this out. This is a huge similitude. Figure it out. But here's the point that we're trying to make with this. With Israel constantly going into captivity, constantly falling short, it shows us at some point always there's a group or a remnant that start to try to put things back together again. That's what's happening now. It always a remnant that's doing that. And guess when they're doing it? When Israel's at the height of disorder. Read.
Verse 2. And the people bless all the men.
Come on.
That willingly.
Come on.
Offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem.
You hear that? That willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem. So let's take Jerusalem out of it because Jerusalem is just his people. Whose spirit is willingly to say, you know what, I got to do this. If I do it willingly, I know I have a reward. But in order to do it willingly, you got to push out addictions. Read it again for him.
Nehemiah chapter 11 and verse 2. And the people blessed all the men that willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem.
So we have a situation in Nehemiah, the book of Nehemiah, the book of Ezra, that's happening. Israel is coming out of the captivities. They've been let to go free. So living underneath the captivity, y'all living in captivity. We all know this now. In that captivity right there, what was some of the things and the highlights that you would see? You've seen a lot of our people mixing. A lot of our men was dealing with the women of the other nations and vice versa. A lot of the women was dealing with, men of the other nations. This was happening at this time to the point where they got to say, listen, we got to start separating this. All right? You read in Nehemiah, he like, I'm about to lay hands on some folks. That's how bad it was looked upon. But this is where it comes full circle for us, because living in this captivity and everyone telling you in a matter of your addiction or your lust to do whatever your mind tell you to do. Therefore, it results. That's why you have so many instances of people battling porn addiction and stuff. You have all of that. That's not. Let's just even say it's beyond an addiction. It becomes now you become like an addict, and you don't even realize what in your mind what you're doing, but until you start realizing what type of porn people is watching. That's where it gets crazy at, because you will start realizing, oh, some of these people, some people just exclusively like white girls. I'm about to name something, but never mind. I ain't trying to be a person's meme. Some people, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Probably closed circuit, I'm going to hit you real hard. But the point is, the level of what people are looking at is just for emotional comfort in their minds. And they have whatever your mind tell you that you have this. That's what you're doing. And you're looking for the emotional comfort. Instead of the now, when you have a situation like that, you go, let me have the Lord on my mind. But certainly in that scenario, the Lord go right out your mind. You might think of it. You might be like, you know what, let me pick the Lord in my mind. These women and everybody. Mm-hmm. Some ladies got kits. I mean, I know, because that's being on social media. Sometimes what the Most High will do is he'll cause a person to just slip up, and it's always it's always in my inbox. That's how I know it's like be spiritual. My inbox might chime off, bing, 2:30 in the morning. Who's hitting me up with this? Oh, whoa. Who is this? A brother? Oh gosh, it's a sister. Damn. What's this sister playing with? The hell's going on? You want the real? You want the real truth? What is happening? I'm not even responding to this. It was an accident. Then maybe 3 days pass. Apologies, Elder. I don't know what it just chimed off. It's happened to a lot of people. Yeah. You know, inside the organization and out. But at the end of the day, you realize something. The Most High is chiming in. Boo, look at what they did. So, matter of fact, give me Proverbs 6. You know what I want. 25. The level of being addicted is just not porno. You're not really addicted to porno. That's what I'm about to say this. A person is not. You are addicted to emotional comfort.
Yep.
In a place where we're getting grinded to powder. Same with ladies. For the lady who constantly looking for a man, just want the emotional comfort. She might settle for a buckethead.
Yep.
He might be the sorriest guy, but she'd be like, at least he's mine. Excuse me? That dude's sorry. Let's read. This for you brothers, man.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 24. To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Uh-oh.
What does it mean to take her? What does it mean? Go ahead. I'm about to hit you, the college man.
Yes, sir.
Since you in college and stuff, seeing all the little brick house tenderonis run around you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's top 10, too. Go ahead.
I ain't going to dang.
I'm going to mess with them.
I don't know what numbers they on. Just lend it out to him. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
But it doesn't mean that you can't look at a girl and think she's pretty, but I guess this means, like,
You want to call a lifeline, sir? I don't know where you going at with this one.
I know, right?
Say it again. Wait, say it again. Let me see what he's saying.
It doesn't mean you can't, like, look at a girl and think she's pretty, but, like, you don't want to go farther than that.
Yeah, okay. I get what he's saying something right. anybody can go, wow, this person looks great or whatever the case may be. But what we're showing is that is how could she take you with her eyelids? Somebody really looking at her lashes?
Nah.
What's happening, sir? Help us out. All the people online want to know. They love rated R. A lot of people do. All the movies is rated R now. You barely get any movies without rated R.
I think
Disney Channel is rated R.
I need a lifeline, so
Oh no, man.
Nah.
Nah. See, we knew you was gonna ask for that. Give us the eyelids. What is the scope of this? Because it's a problem. A lot of times we don't want to. In Israel and in our communities, we don't want to face our problems, boy. But when you become a man and you become in this truth, you face problems like a lion. You love give me the situation. So what is happening to the person that's looking at the woman, and he know, wait a minute, I can't get this woman right here, but I can look at her on her chat channel. What is really happening?
basically he's
First of all, we know he in the midst of lust. That's number one. Okay, but what is the cause of this situation? All right, I'll let you use a lifeline.
I guess he's solely taking on her looks instead of actually her spirit or something like that.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. There you go. Don't guess. Instead of this man thinking righteously, like, you know what? She is my type. She is the one. Let me go get her. But I'm going to get her in a righteous manner. I'm going to get it out of righteousness. That's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But when you like, shoot, I'm about to get, well, her friend, man, is that her auntie? I got her too. That's where you are being overtaken because of your lust. And so what happens is that's too much work now for a lot of people. So what they do is they just turn on TVs and look at the same physical makeup of ladies, and they go after that. I'm trying to show y'all the truth. But it's still going after some type of emotional comfort. And doing emotional comfort in this day and age, and you outside the scripts, is going to lead to other things. Eventually, that guy who just, let me look at her. Oh, I'm on the web looking at ladies. Eventually, that mind going to go order somebody. I got money. Let me order her. We've seen it. And they go ordering, or somebody go, you know what, go to the strip club. You know, they got a show called P-Valley. Everybody watching it. People watching that show. I ain't going to tell you what it stands for, but you can see it yourself. All right? Let's stop playing like we don't know nothing about life. Some of y'all need to stop. But the point is, if we're starting to understand righteousness as a whole, it's to escape whatever God said he doesn't like. That's really it. So he ain't never say, hey, I don't like you looking at her. He ain't never say that. What he did say is, you look at a woman for righteous purposes and don't take her for lust. You like her like that? You like all those measurements? You like her shoulder? She can wear football pads? You might like that. She wear a green dot. Only some people know what that means. Yeah, only some people know what that means. Anyway, guess what? You go after that in righteousness, hey, that's on you. Yeah.
Isn't that what Jacob did? One of our patriarchs, he loved Rachel so much. What did he do? She was well favored, right?
Stop putting porno star names in the chat. We're gonna hit you.
What?
We're gonna hit you. I don't know. It just sounds like one. Trick Tracy? What? What's he talking about, sir? I don't know. I don't think he tagging nobody. If somebody tag name is that, it's read it again, sir.
Okay. All
I'm not playing with these. I'm not playing with this topic right here.
Proverbs.
Matter of fact, give me Job 31. Go to the famous one. And one. Job 31. Isn't it
Yep,
one?
that's it. The book of Job, chapter 31 and verse 1. I made a covenant with mine eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid?
Come on.
For what portion of God is there from above? And what inheritance of the Almighty from on high?
Come on.
Is not destruction to the wicked?
Is not destruction to the wicked? Come on.
And a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity?
Come on.
Doth not he see my ways?
Does not he see my ways? Does not he see my ways? Come on.
And count all my steps.
And count all my steps. Man's goings is of the Lord. Come on.
If I have walked with vanity,
If I have walked with vanity, come on.
or if my foot hath hasted to deceit,
Come on.
let me be weighed in an even balance,
Ooh.
that God may know mine integrity.
So that's why it's about integrity. Your motive of just trying to go, you know what, I just want that, that's it. That's where you're going to get hit. There's no integrity in that. That's what it's showing. And Job is saying, because he's a married man, think about the single brother. Think about what your mind could tell you. You could just be like, knock one down, knock two down. And you could trick yourself. You know, I'm trying to get her in the truth. Oh, you're in the truth. Okay, great. It didn't work out. But you touching and stuff, a lot of brothers did that. That's evil. A lot of women doing that. We know, shoot. At one point, I ain't going to say no names, but it was one sister. We just kept seeing her like she was married like every 2 months. It was crazy. It was one guy in Israel just like, you know, all praises to the Most High. He sent me a righteous husband. Like, excuse me, what? Then 2 months passed. Something broke out, but all praises to the Most High. He sent me a righteous husband. There's different pictures up in his joint. What's going on? You be in this sometime, you see some things. Come on.
Verse 7. If my step have turned out of the way, and mine heart walked after mine eyes, and if any blot have cleaved to mine hands,
Come on.
then let me sow, and let me another eat. Yea, my offspring be rooted out.
Come on.
If mine heart have been deceived by a woman,
So if my heart has been deceived by a woman, come on.
or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door,
Come on.
then let my wife grind into another, and let others bow down upon her.
So essentially, a lot of brothers pull this, but you don't realize. You want to know why marriages and stuff fail? Because in all actuality, it is actually because of your fault and your lust. Some people is just beastmen on lust. This can go vice versa. We've seen ladies in the midst of this.
Yep.
We've seen it, and soon as a woman get in this, the Most High strip that understanding quick. Boy, you start realizing. Asking crazy questions, don't believe on Christ. All kind of stuff start happening. It's amazing what you can recall and how you can think back and your eyes can see things. All praises to the Most High for allowing, growth and to see things, because you have to get through situations. It's not good. Situations aren't good when it's happening. But when you come out on the other side, if you still on that solid foundation, you are so much stronger and have so much gravity that, you could tell you grew. But watch this. Come on.
Verse 11. For this is an heinous crime.
Come on.
Yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges.
To be punished by the judges. Why? Come on.
For it is a fire
That
consumeth to destruction.
It's a fire that consumeth to destruction. So the fire equates to what word that we're talking about? Addiction. That's what it is. To be addicted to something is a burning fire that's in you so that you can take care of your addiction. And somebody, whatever the addiction is, you might be addicted just to that emotional comfort. Some people are addicted on the level of a sexual level because they're just out for emotional comfort. It becomes something that they're not really even thinking about. That's sad. But we're dealing with people. We're dealing with the facts of how you have to handle it. The first line of defense, Christ. Mm-hmm. Let the Lord come into your mind. Now, how strong that's going to be, depending on your addiction and your faith level, is where it's at. Because some people, faith level and the way that they're ever addicted themselves to the ministry will allow you to combat that. You will be able to fight it. But if you're not, you're going to fall. Ladies, you will fall quickly. Because what happens is the person gets into your ear. Once the man gets into your ear, it's over with. We're men, so we know. Soon you get into your ear, you're done. Any man get into anyone. It's been women that was supposedly be devout in this junk. I'm talking about elder. I'm unmovable. Ain't no man. We taught this many times. Ain't no man's gonna be able to do nothing. You know, you'll see. Okay. All right. Thou sayest. You'll just be waiting. Click, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Next minute, you know, I'm just trying to ask questions about rape. Excuse me? Where did that come from? Where does that come from? Just trying to ask. You start asking questions based upon whoever you're dealing with that's feeding you whatever other contrary garbage it is. You start asking questions about it, which is I'm glad you can ask questions, but what you should be doing is say, hey, I know what you're saying, and I know you want to get with me. I know everything seems great. You seem like you're the right guy, like maybe the Most High sent you. I don't know. I'm trying to examine it. Would you care to stand before the elders? Mm-hmm. Would you care to come to the elders? Oh, I don't have a problem talking to nobody. Good. Come talk to the elder. Well, who's the elder? Oh, it's O and them. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. He not gonna. He's too prideful. He got pride on him. He ain't gonna talk. They're gonna tell you all that, because when you start to come, it's been many of you little, young soldiers out there, and I'm just talking to this sister right here. She said to talk to you, and this is. Call me. Give me a call so I need to hear your voice. See who this is real quick so I can just shut you down completely. I'm the mean one. Plus, I'm the willing one, too. I'm the willing one. You can't have that kind of madness because you want somebody to be sincere. You want somebody to be. That's our goal. Is when we look at a brother, go, okay, he's a sincere brother. Ding, nobody going. That's an interaction. You don't want to break that down. You go, okay, that's great. But when you see somebody not sincere, you got to really say how it is, all right? If he just after you for one thing, then that's it. No. Okay, is masturbation a sin, addiction? I mean, you want the PG answer, or you want the so give him the real answer. So, sir, if you are with your wife and that happens, are you in the midst of sin? There goes your answer. Think about what I just said. Yeah, no. Yeah, I know. One shot. Go ahead. Read it again. I hope y'all understood what I just said. He said, asked about masturbation. I said, if you with your wife and that happens, are you in the midst of sin? Okay, then. There you go. Should understand. If you don't understand, inbox me. I'll give you the rated R version. Let's read.
The book of Job. The book of Job. Chapter 31 and verse 12.
Well, we got to fix the nation. The
Yeah.
nation needs to be fixed.
Right.
And they done poison us in all type of mentalities to where you just start thinking things that is not scripturally sound. You can't look at that and be like, where did somebody go in the midst of sin at? No. So you have to understand marriage is honorable in all. You understand the law. In all the law, you understand how you operate.
Remember, don't let brothers try to use the scripture. Where is it? In Genesis with owning?
Yeah, where he spilled seed on the
Right.
ground.
Right. Because brothers not having a proper understanding of that scripture, I've heard a brother try to use that before. When you go into it and get the understanding, seeing that what Onan was doing was showing hatred to his nation and his brother.
Yep. And that man was actually dealing with a woman. So he wasn't even touching himself. He was touching her. Decided to be like, nah, I'm not trying to show that high level honor and respect to my brethren. Let's read on.
The book of Job, chapter 31 and verse 12. For it is a fire that consumeth to destruction, and would root out all mine increase.
Will root out all my increase. Meaning you dealing on a level of lust like that with women or vice versa. Men, it can root out all your increase. It can take your life, man. That's why we have to have these type of discussions. And you ladies, you better start having these type of discussions too, because you got a lot of ladies is hiding behind. All the thing they doing is just looking for lust. So you have to be able to show them, hey, sis, you might run into X, Y, Z. You got even a greater chance. Why? Because of pregnancy, because of diseases. Then you can bring in a monster, all right? All kind of things can happen. We got ladies that were so upside down in coming into the truth, they were dealing with men of the other nations and had children by them. Now what do? They like, dang, this is my child. But it's my child is not accepted. You realize the pain right there? Because you are who your father is. So they realized and went, wow, my child can't even come. I'm having Passover. I'm having first fruits. I'm doing new moons and the Sabbaths. My child's not even a part of it because it's outside of the nation. Do you realize the anguish right there? But that's the judgment for being a person that moved outside of the order. So if you know this as a woman of Israel, if you know all the pitfalls and you are not have a zeal or a spirit on you to say, I need to be a mother of Israel. I need to be the person that's going to be able to talk. Now, I ain't talking about on no stupid chat groups. I'm talking about in reality. Like I'm talking to women out here in this city or wherever I'm at. Anybody can go online and become an invisible robot. A text dummy. Oh, this sounds good. Go your behind out in the streets where it's needed to talk. We talk to so many people. I don't have to talk. We've been doing this for so long. I don't have to talk to people on camera. Come here, young man. Let me holler at you for a minute. The road that you're leading down right here, we've seen it, and it can lead to destruction. But let me write down 7 key principles to you on this card and show you how to escape certain things. You follow these steps. Thank you. Get out of here. Stop breaking in houses. Stop doing things. Yeah. It's bigger than being on camera and stuff. You don't really understand. You don't understand the level right now. But Lord's will, you will get it. All right? Read on.
Verse 13. if I did despise the cause of my manservant or of my maidservant,
Come on.
when they contended with me,
Come on.
what then shall I do when God riseth up?
What will I do when God rises up? Now, I'm going to try to find out who's paying attention real crisp. If I did despise the cause of my manservant or my maidservant when they contended with me, what would that mean? What does this show you about life in general? Does it show you about somebody who has money? There's been a lot of people. They show you this on a lot of movies and everything. Somebody go, you know what? I need a maid. Just come work at my house. You start paying the maid to work at your house, then what? What'll start happening? Yeah, maid is like, you said it. He said it. So now, I'm trying to see who, put in the comments. Trying to see who's paying attention. We're not doing no sex education classes. Shoot. Y'all probably know a lot of things about that anyway. Stop playing stupid.
I know that's right.
Money doesn't garner respect, and they can't flex on you. If I am hiring somebody as a prostitute, is that my maidservant? She be considered somebody I'm having to do service, being a servant, right? Okay, then. You're dealing with people based upon your own lust, and you will disregard anything of their mind. You don't realize you're destroying that person. This is why relationships and everything is bad, because you're dealing with people and you're disregarding them. Yep. You don't know what you're doing to a man paying for a prostitute. You don't really know what you're doing to that lady. You might, it's some things, I'm not going to utter it, but it's some things that people, yikes. Has went through, especially you talk to some of the ladies who are repenting and coming back. Oh my gosh, they done been through something that you cannot really understand. It's a complex. Even talking to them, I'm an elder, but talking to them, they still lack of trust is still like, you're a man. I can't really talk to you. So we need overall righteousness to come in and to be able to do it. Now, once you hear this and you put forth righteousness, feel free of what you've done in righteousness, and then now you've done your job. Be comfortable. All right? Matthew 26. Start up 30, 38, 30. You can start up a bit. 26. Start at 30. Start at 32.
Say Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 32. But after I am risen again,
Come on.
I will go before you into Galilee. Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's always. Mm-hmm. People talk real, you real high power with, when it comes down to Christ in front of people. Behind closed doors is where it counts. Come on.
But when that heat comes.
When that heat come, we seen people fold, buckle.
Mm-hmm.
Starch members. No, you know what? I know I'm with Christ. And he's with me. So I'm going to stand strong.
Okay.
Till that day comes.
Yes, sir. You can get tested.
The one brother, I ain't gonna say no names,
Mm-hmm.
but one brother, remember the story? He was working for the cable company.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Man went in there thinking he was strong.
And that spirit jumped on him, and he saw what he saw, and he no longer with us.
That man was in that. You gotta think about what you're doing, man, and how you operate. You can't just be like, she want me to run some cable in the house.
Right. Right, all through
I'm
the
the
other
cable-
parts.
I'm the cable man.
I'm the cable guy.
You know what? It's coaxials. You got male and female connectors. Why are you talking to this lady like this? You got male and female connectors, and how they connect up is an energy source
Mm-hmm.
that parallels through the connectors. And, you got this lady who's married. In her mind, she all worked up too, because, and nobody know truth. She come out with a blouse on. Can you run cables in my room? Excuse me? I run cables anywhere. Where's it at? Just direct me to the location. He run up there, start doing what he doing. The next 15 minutes just dictated your whole cable career. You got fired.
Yep. Because you was in a trance.
Because you went in that joint and was like, next minute the reports come in. Well, he was in there. He had pulled off his pants. I'm suing the cable company. I never signed up for this. You got tricked.
Yep. As a matter of fact, can I pull something right quick? Go to Ecclesiastes Chapter 21. Show y'all something. This is where we gotta be careful, y'all. And I'm talking about Israel as a whole, like the elder saying. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's real easy to get trapped up, especially when you're dealing with different lusts. And you gotta be careful because you know what you're dealing with, right? Let's see. What's up?
Nah.
What, man?
We can't say everything on camera because a lot of folks, you folks would never understand.
All right, well, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes Chapter 18. Let's go to verse 30. You got to pay attention. This is based on what we're talking about. You got to pay attention to this, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, it's easy to fall into this.
It's easy.
It's very easy. See, we laughing and joking, but I'm telling you, when your hour comes, we're going to see how tough you really are. We're going to see how you're going to handle it.
Yep.
This is why I had to pull the scripture. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 18, verse 30. Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 18 and verse 30.
Go ahead.
Go not after thy lust,
You hear what the scripture says? Go not after thy lust. Go ahead.
but refrain thyself from thine
Because
appetite.
everybody have a level of appetites. This person may not have this appetite. This person may have that appetite. Everybody has a level. Go ahead.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her,
Go ahead.
she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that malign thee.
That malign thee, because what can happen, like he just said, you could be that brother, that sister that's caught up in lust and say, let me use an example. Let's say you the hardest dude on Facebook. You going hard. They pull your profile. They see some, oh, wait a minute. We see something here. Oh, he's struggling with this. Ha, ha, ha. Put it up on Facebook. Look at this is what he does.
Facebook always sending little naked harlots to people.
Yes,
too.
they do.
Half naked harlots just pop up on your little friend request.
Yep.
My name is Dolly.
Look,
I want to be your friend.
remember how he used to always pop up on our website when we had our website? We'd be like, hey, wait a minute, the Lord, why are you popping this stuff up on our website? Yes.
Nah, some of you, never mind.
But jump to verse jump to chapter 21 and verse 2 now.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 21 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent.
You see a snake, you're gonna run away from him. You're not gonna sit there and talk to him and play with him, right? Go ahead.
For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men.
Slaying the souls of men. So, because the end of sin is death. So sooner or later, you keep on playing with that stuff, thinking you strong, you can handle it. Take heed lest you fall.
Yeah, that's why if you have devices and stuff like that, you're right. You want to make sure you start limiting it. That's why we were saying, even within the social media, that's why we switched over. A lot of you folks go on our Discord page where you can have some kind of godly banter going on,
Right.
to detach. But people so loving other social media that they barely can go on there because you don't even want to figure out how to use things because you're so comfortable with the quick ease of access of madness.
Yep.
Go back to Matthew 26.
St. Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 34. Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.
That's what happens. This is the level of battle between your addiction and you trying to actually follow Christ. But even though we looking at Peter's whole level of how he has to develop, because remember, Satan was after him. We looking at him as this example to see, wait a minute, but he got Christ. He fully walking with him. He got communicate to him. He was walking on water at one point with them. He was there in the Mount of Transfiguration. He was there when they fed the thousands and the multitude with just 2 baskets. He was there. Read.
Verse 35. Peter said unto him, Though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee.
Okay.
Likewise also said all the disciples.
Thou sayest.
No, just looking at it, just like how the elder was just explaining, that's no different than a brother or sister being in the truth right now, coming in saying shalom, most high in Christ bless, keeping the high holy days, wearing fringes, all of, going with the motions. But as soon as you put in the midst of that temptation, you denying Christ. Because when you put in the midst of that temptation and not applying the scriptures, this is what Peter did right here. All of the understanding that Peter had, look what he did. In a time of trouble, he forgot about all of this. To a certain point, he gave in to an addiction. That addiction he could have had could have been fear, the fear of losing his own life. So because of that, what he did, he denied Christ.
So he's touching. Y'all really on the masturbate level, huh? He's not laying with her. He's touching himself or whatever the case may. The marriage is honorable and all. Whatever they doing with it, what they doing. What if she touching them?
Right.
What if she doing it?
Right.
Think about what you think about. Some of y'all got to come out of religion.
Right.
All right.
Because they would tell you in Christianity, oh, no, you can't do it. No, that's what goes on between you. Oh, go ahead.
It's a maid and a husband and a wife. That's between them. Go ahead.
You want me to give it to him? All right. Okay. no, I'm not gonna even go to Leviticus. I already know what y'all talking about. But I'm gonna go to Proverbs, what Solomon said. We go with some wisdom right now. We ain't gonna go there. Let's go to wisdom. Let's go to some wisdom. Let's go to what Solomon said. Let's go to the book of Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 19. Matter of fact, start at verse 18. Because this is what Solomon's saying. This is to let y'all know. Even the wisest man is telling you this.
Right. The book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
There be 3 things which are too wonderful for me. Yea, 4 which I know not.
Go ahead.
The way of an eagle in the air.
Well, you see how the eagle flies. Go ahead.
The way of a serpent upon a rock.
Because, the serpent looks very methodic. When he's on that rock, you can see he looks very like he can hypnotize you if you watch him a lot. especially if it's an exotic snake. Go ahead.
The way of a ship in the midst of the sea.
The way of a ship in the midst of the sea, because you have a ship that can be tossed to and fro, but it's controlled by a little rudder, right? The ship of the sea. Go ahead.
And the way of a man with a maid.
He don't even know that. So the way of a man with a maid, you can't look at somebody else's bedroom and be like, well, this is what you're supposed to be doing this. He even knows that. The way of a man with a maid. He said those things that he don't even know.
Dang, and he got wisdom on him. So you gotta, the problem comes in the fact that we have been fed religion. And I get it, sis, don't worry.
Right.
The problem comes in that is when we are in a religious mind, we read what God doesn't like.
Right.
You don't see none of that right there. You see the intent behind what you're doing is where the problem is at. You don't have a will. If you don't have a willing spirit to go, God says to operate like this.
Right.
If I look at a woman, I want to make that woman my wife. That's what the principles of it is. If I'm just going, nah, I only want to lay with this woman and that's it, that's where your problem is at.
Right.
That's exclusively. Far as all the touching and everything else, the principles of that is in the bedroom, but that shows you still the principles of it. You would have to inbox me for the NC-17 version. There's a principle behind it. If marriage shows us what's honorable.
Right.
Period. So, this is one of them closed circuit classes.
Mm-hmm.
So, read on.
All right. Verse 36, Matthew chapter 26, verse 36. Then cometh Jesus with them into a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
Pay attention, y'all. Come on.
Then said he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful.
My soul is exceeding sorrowful. Come on.
Even unto death.
Even unto death. Come on.
Tarry ye here.
Come on.
And watch with me.
Come on.
And he went a little further, and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
Did Christ have a willing spirit? Of course he did. That's why he said, nevertheless, not my will, but thy will. So it's showing you the battle of fighting. Now he's into temptation under death. Yes. This is the death time. But he's showing you even at the highest level, you ain't in no death watching Big Betty. You're not right there. You're not in the death, like, oh, I'm certain death right now. You have a mode of repentance, a motive to recover yourself. Stop being a horn toad and a lustful demon. Come out of it. Like, that's what's in your mind. You looking for emotional comfort all day when there is nothing. Be with us. We're in misery. You have to understand that. Now, you do have if you can't contain, if you got a fire, that fire hitting you, you better make sure you marry somebody. Don't marry somebody just inclusively, I'm burning, I got to marry somebody. I get that. That has came too. Yo, man, I need to find a wife. Where'd that come from, bro? I can't take it. I cannot take it any longer. Dang, bro, you better watch out what you're doing, because you might go ahead on and get that wife and do everything you think. But once your lust is satisfied, you're going to come back on the other end and be like,
you back to thinking.
You back to thinking again.
It was all great and gravy. We was having fun, but then all of a sudden reality started to set in.
I ain't know that she had big ears, though. I ain't know that she had on a wig. Excuse me, that's your wife, though, sir. You should have knew things. You saw her in the dark. How you working? Yeah, he did. He didn't really even care. His mind was blind. That's what's happening. It happens. We're dealing with it right now. And a lot of you folks got to realize because of what you was addicted to, spawned your actions, and now you have attached to something that you regret. Listen, the Most High is the real power. If you don't follow what he's saying, then you're going to deal with the consequences. Read on.
Verse 40, and he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray.
Do what?
Watch and pray.
Watch and pray. Read.
That ye enter not into temptation.
That ye enter not into temptation. So even though that's the highest level right there that they're dealing with, it's showing us a learning lesson. We watch and we pray. We watch and we pray. What are we watching for? That when the temptation comes. Soon the temptation comes to us. Oh, dang, I'm getting hit with temptation. Send up prayers. Help is needed. Help. You got to take it very serious and guard your spirit. Make sure your tower, the Lord is a strong tower. Make sure your tower is up. Read.
The spirit indeed is willing.
What the Bible says.
The spirit indeed is willing.
The spirit indeed is willing. Some people just like, I want to do this, but read.
But the flesh.
But what?
But the flesh
read.
Is weak.
Gosh, the Lord, that's out of the Lord mouth himself. That's out of the Lord mouth himself. So if you know this and you understand, that goes back to what we opened the class with. Think upon the Lord constantly as if he's standing right next to you, but he should be in you. 1 John chapter 2. Verse 17.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 17.
Let me say this, and for somebody that's going, I can't take it no more. You got ladies who saying they can't take it no more. You got bros saying they can't take it no more. There you go. Don't say, oh, well, O said we couldn't take it, so we should be together. Nuh-uh. Both of y'all crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Listen, you make sure you 100% go through the steps that God set up.
Right.
Because if you're dealing on lust, what's going to happen is you're just going to come together and you're going to start thinking again. Because right now you ain't thinking.
Right.
Right now, the only thing your mind's saying is, get warm.
Mm-hmm.
Even the child laughed. Said, we're getting warm. All the little kids, the little young guys right now, they don't know nothing. They just in a pure, I love their little state of mind.
Right.
They just so precious. Keep playing video games, little buddy.
Exactly. Because one day it's going to come to an
One day,
end.
you Fortnite challenging, and the next day, you're in the real challenge.
Yes, sir.
Contemplating everything.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
1 John chapter 2 verse 17. And the world passeth away.
And the world passeth away. Read.
And the lust.
And what?
And the lust.
Come on.
Thereof.
And the lust thereof. This world, the things, the emotional comforts, everything everybody is seeking, this stuff going to go away. The God promised us that he was going to make all things new. So your little emotionals, everything you're going through, your cycles, everything, all that stuff's got to pass away because all this was a sentence. That's why you dealing with all the afflictions and the addictions and all the mental things that's happening because we are underneath this. But the world passeth away and the lust thereof. Read.
But he.
But what?
But he.
Read.
That doeth the will of God.
That doeth the will of God. Read.
Abideth forever.
Abideth forever, and that's what you want. The book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 29.
The book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We got to obey the Most High rather than man. Not your lust, not your addiction, not the elders, not the brothers, not the sisters. Make sure you're following the Most High in spirit and in truth. All right? That's the only way you're going to be able to make it. This is the shadow of the valley of death. All right? You got to come out of it quickly. All right? The Most High knows what you need before you even ask. So if you asking for wives and husbands and stopping from burning, ask the Most High. Most High send you that righteous person. That's when it's beautiful. All praises to the Most High in Christ. Visit the website Israelites Saints of Christ. All right, .org. The website they do not want you to see. We revamping it. All right, join the force. Get yourself together. All right, Lord's will for everybody that's tuning in. Continue to send up the prayers. Don't get emotional.
And your arms are needed, brothers and sisters. We definitely need the arms.
Send up your arms.
Yes.
We just acquired a whole piece of land, a waterfall.
Oh, yes.
In western banks of Africa. We need everybody help because we got to put this stuff forward. We need all y'all help, man. All right. All praises to the Most High in Christ. With that, we say shalom.